We often talk about how divided America is. We put a lot of focus on Republicans and Democrats. But if you look at the numbers, the largest group of voters isn't a member of either party.
Because you want the strip, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We took a ride with Las Vegas native Esmeralda Vieta through her hometown.
You'll find, too, that locals don't like to come out to the strip very often. Traffic.
I found,
We can talk about traffic.
like many Americans, it isn't just traffic that frustrates her.
Even though a Republican can say and promise ABC, a Democrat can promise D, E, and F, but I might like A and a little bit of E, so it's not just red and blue anymore.
We had a conversation about politics, an honest one.
I don't watch the news because at this point, all it is this candidate this and this candidate that, and let me find something else to talk bad about this other person. And it's like, that's not what politics is. Like, politics is about what are your values?
We try to stay away from it on our, but I hear you, I hear you. I wanted to talk to her because at a time when it can feel like political party loyalty has never been stronger, she recently decided to no longer be a member of one.
It's a little heartbreaking, right? Because right out of high school, I was full-on Democrat and voting Democrat all the way.
Today, she is a registered independent voter. In Nevada, they're called nonpartisans. She told me after the 2020 election, she was fed up.
It got very messy, and it got very, you're either with me or you're against me.
By leaving the Democratic Party, she became part of the largest group of voters in America. Look at how since 2004, independents have grown to outnumber Republicans and Democrats.
I think that's one of the things you see nationally is the sort of swinging from Democratic to Republican control, right? It's the voters are saying no to both parties, not necessarily yes to either one here.
Few people know more about politics and independent voters in this state than David Damore. He's taught politics at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas for more than 20 years.
You know, when I want to say 16, you go back, Trump carried them narrowly here. They shifted to Biden 2 years ago here. So it's a real uncertainty here.
He says nonpartisan voters in Nevada could have a big impact everywhere. This November, Democrat U.S. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto could be voted out, and some say thanks to independents, replaced with a Republican challenger. Independents, I mean, they have a lot of power in these elections.
They do, absolutely they do. They're going to decide it here.
And many who watch politics say it could be the same situation in many places this November. And independents might have even more power if people like Jeremy Gruber get their way.
We're seeing a real sea change in the way voters affiliate in this country.
His nonpartisan, nonprofit group, Open Primaries Education Fund, is pushing for all states to open their primary elections to independent voters. This year, in these 12 states, independents aren't allowed to vote in primaries, only in the general elections.
They're taxpayer funded. We pay millions of dollars every year to fund primaries. They are, for all intents and purposes, public elections, but we let the parties decide which members of the public can and can't participate.
And a lot of people don't like talking politics, especially on television. Yeah. Why do you want to talk about it?
I think it's important for people to not be scared.
This fall, Esmeralda will vote in her first election as not a member of either of the two major political parties.
It's okay. This is what America is, right? We are entitled. We have a right to our own voice.
She says whoever gets her vote will get it based on her beliefs, not a party's or a platform's.